Hope Logan Spencer may be standing at the edge of a life-changing decision, and Steffy Forrester Finnegan knows it. Because right now, Hope's future at Forrester Creations is not just about fashion. It is about power, it is about respect, and it is about whether Hope can survive inside a company where Steffy believes she is only still standing because the Forresters allow it. That is the heart of this The Bold and the Beautiful recap for Tuesday, May 5th. Hope is beginning to see a different future, a future away from Forrester Creations, a future connected to Logan. And once Liam Spencer puts that idea in her head, Hope cannot shake it. She tells Liam and Katie Logan Spencer that ever since Liam brought up the possibility of her moving to Logan, it has been all she can think about. That one suggestion is now turning into something much bigger, because Hope is not just thinking about a job change, she is thinking about freedom. She is thinking about whether she still belongs in a place where Steffy can question her value, her line, and her place in the building. But here's where it gets worse. At Forrester Creations, Steffy is already talking like Hope's future belongs in her hands. In the CEO office, Steffy vents to Ridge Forrester about Hope acting like everything revolves around her line. Steffy does not see Hope as someone who deserves guarantees. She sees Hope as lucky. Lucky to still have a job, lucky to still be allowed in the building, lucky after her role in the Forrester Creations coup, and that says everything. Steffy is not looking at Hope as a valuable part of the company. She is looking at her as someone who should be grateful for whatever she gets. That attitude makes the tension sharper, because Hope is not in the same emotional place anymore. She is not simply waiting quietly, she is questioning everything. And Liam sees it. Liam believes Hope will eventually join them at Logan. Even though Hope and Katie worry about Brooke Logan Forrester's reaction, Liam sounds confident. He acts like the move is only a matter of time, and that confidence matters. Because Liam is not just encouraging Hope, he is pushing her to imagine herself outside Steffy's control, outside Forrester pressure, outside a place where her line can be treated like a problem instead of a priority. What happens next changes everything. Hope returns to Forrester Creations and walks into the CEO office, where Ridge is now with Steffy. This is the moment where Hope stops waiting for Steffy to give her an answer. Earlier, Steffy could not offer the relaunch timeline Hope wanted, so Hope turns to Ridge. She asks if he can give her the timeline instead. It is calm, it is direct. But underneath it, the tension is burning. Hope is asking for clarity, but she is also making a point. If Forrester Creations cannot appreciate her, then maybe Forrester Creations does not deserve her. Hope even hints at what she might do if they cannot give her the guarantee she is after. She does not fully spell it out. She does not have to, because Steffy hears the threat behind it. Steffy grows more irritated and asks what Hope is going to do. And that question hangs in the room, because Steffy believes Hope is nothing without Forrester. She already said it to Ridge. She agreed that Hope would never leave the company. She insisted Hope was nothing without Forrester Creations. But Hope's energy is different now. She is not acting like someone who feels trapped. She is acting like someone who knows she may have another option. And that is exactly what Steffy does not want to face. Because if Hope leaves on her own terms, Steffy does not control the ending. If Hope chooses Logan, then Steffy does not get to frame it as weakness. Hope could turn Steffy's pressure into a new beginning. And for Steffy, that possibility is dangerous, because this feud is no longer just personal. It is becoming professional. It is becoming a battle over value, loyalty, and who gets to decide Hope's future. Ridge is stuck right in the middle of it. He hears Steffy's frustration. He sees Hope's growing determination, and he knows this tension is getting harder to contain. Ridge did not think Hope would ever leave the company. Steffy agreed with him. But Hope's words in that office suggest that maybe they are underestimating her, and that's not even the biggest shock. While Hope's future becomes the main pressure point at Forrester, another storyline adds a darker emotional layer to the day. Remy Price is trying to rebuild his life, but his desperation is showing. He continues talking with Melissa Dillon, and it becomes clear that he is tired of the odd jobs he has been doing. Repairing air conditioning, taking whatever work he can get. That is not the future Remy wants. He admits he really wants to work in fashion. And for Remy, fashion is not just a career dream, it is tied to Electra Forrester. He talks about how fashion was something he and Electra once bonded over, but the past between them is not simple, it is painful. Dillon questions him about whether he targeted Electra because he was jealous. Remy does not fully deny that jealousy existed. He suggests it was mostly because Electra was slipping away, but maybe deep down, jealousy was part of it too. That admission makes the moment uncomfortable because Remy is not just talking about ambition, he is talking about someone he hurt, someone whose trust he shattered. And now he says he wants redemption. But here's where the tension tightens. Remy needs Dillon's help. He wants Dillon to speak to Deke Sharp for him. Remy confesses that Deke was his boyfriend until all the Electra drama blew up. Now Remy wants Dillon to remind Deke that he is still a good guy at heart. He pushes her to vouch for him. And as he gets more desperate, he tells Dillon that she has to help him. That desperation matters. Because Remy is trying to rebuild his image. He wants another chance. He wants a path back into fashion. But the question is whether his regret is enough after what Electra went through. And across Forrester Creations, Electra is still carrying the weight of that trauma. In the design office, she opens up to R.J. Forrester. She tells him about Remy and the deepfake horror he put her through. This is not a small betrayal. This is the kind of violation that changes how someone sees people around them. Electra admits, through her story, that she has faced betrayals from people close to her. She does not know who to trust, and that pain is real. RJ listens. He also learns that Will Spencer came to Electra's rescue when the danger with Remy erupted. Even though RJ has issues with Will, he is grateful for what Will did. That tells us something important about RJ in this moment. He is not letting personal problems blind him to the fact that Will helped Electra when she needed it. Then RJ makes Electra a promise. He tells her she can trust him. He promises he will never let her down. He promises he will never break her heart. It is a softer moment in the middle of a tense episode, but it still connects to the bigger theme. Trust. Who gets it? Who breaks it? And who deserves another chance? For Electra, trust has become fragile. For Hope, trust at Forrester Creations is also breaking down. And for Remy, trust is something he is trying to win back after serious damage has already been done. That is why this episode feels like it is quietly building toward bigger consequences. Hope is questioning whether Forrester Creations truly values her. Steffy is convinced Hope needs the company more than the company needs Hope. Ridge is watching the conflict grow. Liam is pushing the Logan possibility. Katie is part of that conversation. And Brooke's reaction remains a concern for Hope and Katie. But even with that concern, the idea of Logan is now alive. Hope has heard it. Hope has considered it. And Hope is now using it as leverage without saying too much. That makes Steffy furious, because Steffy is used to being the one who applies pressure. She is used to making Hope defend herself. But in that CEO office, Hope changes the rhythm. She asks for a timeline. She hints that Forrester Creations could lose her. And suddenly Steffy has to ask what Hope plans to do. That is the power shift. It may be small right now, but it is there. Hope is no longer simply reacting to Steffy. She is forcing Steffy to react to her. And that is why this confrontation feels bigger than another office argument. It feels like the beginning of a serious break. Because Steffi's words reveal exactly how she sees Hope. Hope is lucky to be there. Hope is nothing without Forrester. Hope will not leave. But Hope's actions suggest something else. She may still want answers. She may still want a relaunch timeline. She may still want her line respected. But now she also knows she has another direction to consider. And once someone starts imagining a future somewhere else, it becomes much harder to keep them controlled. That is where the Tuesday, May 5th B&B recap leaves the main conflict. Hope is standing in front of Ridge and Steffy, asking for a guarantee. Steffy is getting more irritated. Ridge is in the middle. And the Logan option is no longer just a private conversation. It is now part of the pressure inside Forrester Creations. The question is no longer just whether Hope's line will be relaunched. The question is whether Hope will stay where she feels undervalued, or whether Steffi's confidence will push her closer to walking away. And with Hope and Steffi's feud set to escalate, this battle is only getting sharper. Because if Hope chooses Logan, Steffy may have underestimated her completely. But if Hope stays, she may have to fight harder than ever for respect inside Forrester Creations. So what happens when Hope finally decides she is done waiting for Steffi's approval? Do you think this changes everything? Subscribe for daily, the bold and the beautiful spoilers and updates.